Hey guys, welcome to this edition of WPRP. I'm Jake.
And I'm Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, do you have any family in the military?
I did. My grandpa served in the Navy.
Well, that's nice. Jared gives us a story about the Army's recent visit here at PRP.
My name is Sergeant First Class Lawley. I'm assigned as the truck driver and exhibitor for the Program Executive Office Adventure Semi. We're here at the school today to give some awareness to the different types of equipment and uniform items that soldiers are currently wearing both stateside and overseas. It's a good chance for students and faculty to interact with the Army equipment, and just learn a little bit more about what we have to offer.
The most exciting thing I've seen in the truck is the machine guns.
The most exciting thing I've seen in there, they have a half broken down Humvee in there where you sit in and you can play a game as a gunner. That's what I think is really cool. It's very real.
Honestly, no, I'm actually a music artist.
I want to go in and be a mechanic or something like that.
The recent Army visit to our school was a success, PRP. Students really enjoyed it and gave them a lot to think about.
That's it. Come on, man. Let's go.
Hey, I'm sorry they're so mean to you, but you shouldn't really worry about what they say. Don't let it get to you, you know? It just kind of matters that you're you.
Jake, did you know that we no longer have a step team?
No, so what will those students do?
Well, there is a new team. Let's hear what Rayana and Chloe have to say about our new Pantherettes.
I like when I express myself, and I like when new girls like to do new things. So the girls, sometimes, they go through stuff. They can express stuff to you, and then you can just connect with them. You might have something in common with them. You never know.
Half of my teammates I didn't know at first, so I get to know mostly everybody in a good way.
When you're on a dance team, you focus more, because to be on a dance team, you have to make sure that your grades are good, your behavior is good. You have to just represent yourself as a dancer. So you need to be a young lady in school and be, presentable and positive, and leave all the negative energy away from you.
I've been dancing for a very long time, so I thought a majorette team would help me with everything that I've been doing.
Right now we're working on basketball season. We plan on, dancing during basketball season and pep rallies, so hopefully you guys will be able to see us then.
I plan to go into college and do majorette, hopefully.
Fun facts about Christmas. Christmas is on December 25th because of an ancient pagan festival, Saturnalia, which celebrated the agricultural god Saturn with partying, gambling, and gift-giving. Because Christmas has roots to Saturnalia, it was actually illegal to celebrate this holiday in Boston for a very long time, and if you were caught celebrating, then you got thrown in prison. Though Santa Claus had worn blue, white, and green in the past, his traditional red suit came from the Coca-Cola Company. Rudolph was almost named Rolo, and originally was not going to have a red nose. At the time when the idea of Rudolph was created, a red nose was a sign of chronic alcoholism. Jingle Bells was supposed to be a song for Thanksgiving. That's it for this month's fun fact. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas.
Do you know of any community problems or situations?
Miss Fox does, and she has started a program inside of her classes and it is called Project-Based Learning.
Let us have a look at what they have done so far.
As a part of the new academy model PRP has adopted, project-based learning will be widely used, and some teachers are already diving in.
How does the ethnicity in this genocide in Darfur, tell me how it relates?
Mine and my partner's social issue is kids being left in hot cars and getting injuries from it and how to stop it.
My issue was unpaid maternity leave.
The blessings in a backpack, not in high schools.
Project-based learning, it gets kids out of that routine, and it really makes them take control of their learning and kind of be their own leaders. And I kind of have to take a step back.
Community members provided valuable information for their projects, giving students ideas on a topic they will choose.
What Abraham Lincoln was saying.
Working in teams, students spent considerable time in research as they worked to form their solution. Their solution was researched through the lens of all the academies at PRP.
Well, like on average, like 36 kids die per year in the U.S. and that's too much if it can be prevented, in my opinion. So we were like, this is an issue, we got to figure out a way to stop it.
Kids learn a lot when they hear and see people other than me. To get other people in and just different voices and different points of view. You know, kids may or may not agree with what I have to say, and that's okay, they don't have to. But when we have police officers in and professionals in to help them, and it really becomes real world and it really becomes real life for them, and they may or may not agree with them, but you can't argue that these are some issues we have in society, and if this is what we're going to be talking about, I think it's important to get a couple different points of view and different voices.
In the end, they presented their projects to a board of community members.
I hope this project will empower them to make a positive change in their community. A lot of kids don't understand how easy it is to make a change for them and those around them.
Teen tips before college. Most students grow up with an idea of where they want to go to college at and what they want to do when they grow up. But there are a few who are undecided and confused. Here are some of the things you may want to look into before choosing a school and what you want to do. Location and school size. You have many choices when it comes to colleges that are in your area that are small or moving to a large city with a big school. Depending on what you want to do, you may want to go away and out of state or live at home or near home and save money. You may even choose somewhere in between. Financial aid and cost. Some colleges, such as private colleges and many profit colleges, can be very expensive, but community colleges and some online colleges are a much cheaper and affordable way to go. How much financial aid you get, such as FAFSA or scholarships, can influence whether you choose an expensive or inexpensive college. It can also influence if you want to stay in Kentucky or go out of state. For example, your Keys Money Award can be used at most colleges in Kentucky, but only a few colleges out of state accept it. Extracurricular activities and special programs. Do you want to play sports, be in the band, or do some sort of acting? Some schools may provide more chances than others. Some may even offer you a scholarship. Maybe you'd like to study abroad for a year or work on something extremely fascinating. Which schools offer those opportunities may influence your decision. Feel and demographic. Pay attention to your gut reaction when touring a campus, and keep in mind the size and setting of the school. You need to go somewhere where you feel comfortable. Not all schools have the same type of student body. Some are more diverse in terms of race or origin, and some are affiliated with a certain religious background. Keep in mind all these different tips when it comes to choosing a college and what you want to do when the time comes. This is Faith reporting for WPRP.
Jacob brings us a piece about our LEAP students visiting the Jefferson Forest.
He is here to tell us all of what they did.
The students who went to Jefferson Forest as freshmen did team building here at the school. And then as sophomores, they go to the forest and do the low ropes team building. And then they go to the Alpine Tower. And what it is a huge tower that they like rock climb and they get to the very top, and if they do get to the very top, I mean, you can see for miles, the whole city of Louisville. And
It was a challenge because I don't like heights, and the tower was really high.
Look at you, Bailey. This year was the cold. It was freezing while we were there at the forest. It was. I'd never been there when it had been so cold. So they weren't. You're not allowed to wear gloves or any scarves or anything. So it was really, really cold while they were trying to climb this year.
It was a good day. It was cold outside, but it was a good learning experience.
I think the biggest gain that the students get is that they all work together. They're cheering each other on. We have different schools that are there during the day, and so they're not just cheering on the people that come from PRP, they're cheering on people that come from other schools also and encouraging them. Miss Williams also attempted to climb it this year, so we were all cheering Miss Williams on, trying to help her to get to the top also.
Our goal was to go as far as you could and try to get to the top, but don't push yourself too much if you wanted to stop.
I saw a lot of leaders emerge by supporting their classmates, telling them, encouraging them to try and get to the top, telling them that they could do it. I think a lot of kids made it further than they thought they were going to. They may not have made it to the top, but they did make it further than they thought they were going to make it to.
Will you continue? One of the clubs that many people don't know about is the Environmental Club.
What is the Environmental Club?
Well, I don't know, but Kyle does. Let's hear what he has to say about it.
If you have wondered what's up with the newly planted strip of land in front of the tech building, you're going to need to look to the Environmental Club for the answers.
Show Jackson that I had a mutual friendship.
I think the goals of the club are awareness and actually students being able to get their hands on, it's more of a hands-on thing. The project behind us is the pollinator garden. So that is in conjunction actually with the county extension service. So the county extension neighbors actually came out and he dug it up.
These past few weeks we've been working on our garden. It doesn't look like much now, but later on we'll make it more pretty with flowers.
So the goal is to get the plants growing so we attract the pollinators, and then you can actually sort of study the pollinators. I hope to also use this in my biology and ecology classes. So I could sort of consider this an outdoor classroom.
Okay, so you know how you're in school now, what you do with your grades and stuff determines if you get into a good college or whatever. Well, what we do now with the earth and saving the environment helps prepare for our future in our environment.
Anybody who is interested in sustainability or improving generally the ecosystems of the world should be interested in environmental science.
And hopefully in the future, if this is successful, we will start growing food and donating it to charity.
Well, that's it for this edition of WPRP. I'm Jake.
And I'm Mackenzie. Now let's take a look at our first play this year. You're a good man, Charlie Brown.
It really depends on where the new students came from and how much experience they've had in theater before. New students tend to be pretty green in terms of being on stage, which means they're new to the whole experience. So usually we break them in by putting them in the chorus or making them do smaller things for the theater. It's great watching children progress from their freshman year to their senior year. A lot of students come in here without a lot of skills and they usually leave knowing a lot.
You could be King Charlie Brown. You could be.
Well, I've sort of jumped around. I started out acting. I've done pretty much everything since. I've done sound, stage design. The only thing I haven't done is lights.
Well, I have a lot of students in class as well as after school, so I get to watch them grow a lot as performers, interpreters, as actors. It's really refreshing to watch them want to get better at performing. Usually kids are stuck in math or English and they get kind of bogged down by it, but in performing arts classes usually they're excited to do a lot.
It sort of teaches you how to work with people because it's such a community that you have to work hand in hand no matter what part of the show you're in. So it's definitely taught me communication skills and how to just interact with other people much better.
Sing,
Shirley.